Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Rapid Chemistry. Today in this class, I am Ranjan Das, would like to discuss periodic trends and periodicity in properties for CBSE class 11 students mainly. Okay, let's start. Periodic trends in properties of the elements. The properties of elements can be divided into two categories. And there are some properties which are for individual atoms. The properties such as atomic and ionic radii, ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity and valency are the properties of the individual atom and are directly related to their electronic configuration. Okay. But there are some properties of group of atoms. The properties such as melting point, boiling point, heat of fusion, heat of vaporization, atomic volume, density, etc. are the bulk properties. That is, the properties of a collection of atoms and are related to their electronic configuration indirectly. Okay. All these properties which are directly or indirectly related to the electronic configuration of the elements are called atomic properties. Since electronic configuration of the elements are periodic function of their atomic numbers, these atomic properties are also periodic function of atomic numbers of the elements. Thus, atomic properties are also called periodic properties. So, here we will see that all the properties here are atomic size, metallic character, non-metallic character, okay, ionization energy, electron affinity. These are all related to the atomic size and atomic radius, and that's why we'll start with atomic size and atomic radius. So let's look at the definition here. The distance from the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell containing the electrons is called atomic radius. Okay, so atomic radius can be here covalent radius. Covalent radius means, just look at the figure here, two atoms are in the combined form, okay, and these are their centers, and if you connect that two centers, and the distance and divided by 2 would be the covalent radius. So how to define? It is defined as 1/2 of the distance between the centers of two atoms of the same element, okay, bonded by a single covalent bond, that is covalent radius. And the radius of the atom is that much, okay, that much, but covalent radius a bit smaller than the radius of the individual atom, okay. Thus, for homonuclear diatomic molecules, covalent radius would be half of internuclear distance. For example, in H2 molecule, the internuclear distance is found to be 0.74 angstrom, that is 74 pm. So covalent radius of hydrogen atom would be half of that, that is 37 pm or picometer, okay. And these are the smaller units which are used for measuring the small distance like the radius of the atoms, okay. So 1 angstrom equals to 10 to the power minus 10 meter, 1 picometer equals to 10 to the power minus 12 meter, 1 angstrom equals to 100 picometer. So you have to remember these are, okay. So next move to metallic radius here, metallic radius, okay. It is defined as 1/2 of the internuclear distance between two adjacent atoms in a metallic lattice, okay. And we know metallic atoms are there in a crystal form and they exist in a metallic lattice, okay. So as example given here, look at here, the distance between the two adjacent copper atom in a solid copper is found to be 2.56 angstrom, and that is determined by X-ray diffraction method. Hence the metallic radius of copper would be just half of that one, 1.28 angstrom. Similarly, the metallic radii of sodium and potassium have been determined as 1.86 angstrom and 2.31 angstrom respectively. Note point here, covalent and radii of sodium and potassium is found to be 1.54 angstrom and 2.03 angstrom. Now next we will discuss here van der Waals radius. Van der Waals radius. Okay. So van der Waals radius, it is defined as 1/2 of the distance between the nuclei of two non-bonded neighboring atoms belonging to two adjacent molecules of an element in the solid state. And that can best be understood by that figure. Okay, look at this figure. So two molecules are there and these are the atoms. Okay, these are the two atoms. Two adjacent molecules are there, molecule 1 and the molecule 2. So in between these two adjacent molecules, and these are the atoms, these are the neighboring atoms. So neighboring atoms and their centers has been shown here. Okay, so and if you connect these 2 points and get the half distance of these 2 points, and that would be the van der Waals radius. So try to understand one thing. So atomic radius is that much. Okay, and then we got covalent radius. Covalent radius has been shown here, 0.99 angstrom here, but the van der Waals radius is a bit more than those two. Okay, that is covalent radius is smaller than the van der Waals radius. So just look at here. Okay, so these are the different elements, that is mainly halogens taken, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and inert gases are taken. So their covalent radius given. But for inert gas, covalent radius is not given because they are not forming molecule. Okay, but the van der Waals radius, and if you observe their van der Waals radius, the van der Waals radius is always more than the covalent radius. Okay, always more than the covalent radius. So here we got the van der Waals radius is greater than metallic radius, then covalent radius. Okay, now we will learn the variation of atomic radii or size in periodic table. So just look at here the chart at first. Okay, so these are the elements: sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus. These are the from same period. Okay, that is the third period elements. Okay, and if you observe their atomic radii as given, and you will find it is getting decreased. Okay, it is getting decreased. So 1.54, 1.36, 1.20. So that means the atomic radius is decreases from left to right in a period. Okay, decreases. And why it is so? And actually it is due to the, for all the elements from a certain period, the number of cells remains same, but from left to right you will find more number of electrons and the protons are there, and that will result in higher attraction. That means the attraction and to the in between the nucleus and the outermost electrons in sodium, and the attraction in between magnesium and silicon, and you will find that attracting force increases from left to right, and that's why in a certain period atomic size decreases from left to right. Okay, let's look at here what they have explained here. The principal quantum shell remains unchanged in the same period. So the differentiating electrons entered the same cell, but due to increase in the number of protons increases, the positive charge of the nucleus also increases. So what happens? So attractive force of the nucleus for electrons in the outermost cell also increases. Hence the atomic size, rather than the atomic radii of elements in the same period, gradually decreases with increase in atomic number. If any period atomic size of the element is taken, and that is what it come and we have discussed here. Okay, hopefully you got it, that one. Okay, now we will discuss the variation of atomic radii or size down a group. On moving down along any group of the periodic table, the atomic size rather than the atomic radii of the element increases remarkably. And you know that is mainly due to the addition of newer cells. And that has been shown here. And look at the different elements, say group 1 elements and group 2 elements, group 3 elements, group 14 elements, and these are their covalent radii in picometer unit. Okay, so from hydrogen to lithium, lithium to sodium, okay, that is the atomic radii increases. Okay, and here the covalent radii is taken, so increases, and that can easily be explained. It is on the basis of addition of the newer cells, that from hydrogen to lithium one new shell is added, okay, and lithium to sodium another cell is added, and that's why size is increasing remarkably. Okay, so one thing you have to remember here, with the addition of newer cells, the attraction that is the attraction in between the nucleus and the outermost electron also increases. Okay, but that attraction may lead to the contraction in the size, but you know the addition of newer cell exceeds that effect. Okay, hopefully you got it. So in all the groups, be it group 1, 2 or 13, 14, 15, 16, in always, and there is a decrease, increase in the size if we move from top to bottom in a specific group. Okay, and here one thing we have to understand, and if you observe the values of the covalent radii as given here, okay, that means from the first element to second, second to third, okay, the rate of increase initially is more, but you know at the last element, and you will see the rate of increase in their atomic radii or covalent radii is not so much. Okay, it is only a less amount, and why it is so, and that can be explained on the basis of screening effect and shielding effect. So at first here we'll discuss screening effect and shielding effect. So what is screening effect and shielding effect? I will make it clear to you here. In multi-electron atoms, the electrons present in the inner shell shield the electrons in the valence shell from the pull of the nucleus. It means that the electrons of the inner shells act as a screen between the nucleus and the electrons in the valence shell, and this is known as screening effect or shielding effect. Just try to understand screening effect by a simple explanation. Say one electron is there at the outermost cell, and that is attracted by the nucleus. Okay, but there are electrons in between the cells, so there may be electrons here or here. Okay, and those inner electrons can play as a screen. They can behave as a screen, and thus what happens, the attraction in between this electron and the nucleus may decrease. Okay, so that is the property of the inner electrons, okay, so that is the screening effect. So hopefully you got a bit. And here is the definition for screening effect or shielding effect. The ability of the inner electronic shells to shield the outer electrons from the attraction of the nucleus is called screening effect or shielding effect. And it has been found that the screening effect is maximum for S electrons, and then P, then D, and then F. Okay, so the magnitude of screening effect of electrons belonging to the different subcells follows that sequence. You must have to remember that one. Now we will discuss variation of size in a group or for heavier elements. On moving down a group, relative rate of increase of atomic radii is low, as I have said just now. So the differences in size for heavier species such as cesium and francium of group 1 or barium and radium of group 2 is very small, and this is due to the presence of electrons in the inner d and f orbitals, having poor screening effect. In fact, D and F electrons do not screen the outer electrons effectively from the pool of the nucleus. Obviously, there is only small increase in size in spite of addition of new electronic cell. Okay, and that's why, and I have discussed that one a bit. That means for the last elements in a group, that is say for rubidium to cesium and after cesium to francium, that is the increase is very less. The increase is very less. Now look at some important points regarding atomic radius. Number 1, the alkali metals occupying positions at extreme left side of the periodic table have the largest size in each period. The halogens occupying the position at the right side of the periodic table have the smallest size in each period. Number 3, the noble gases present in the extreme right of the periodic table have larger atomic radii than those of the preceding halogens, because van der Waals radii, that point you must have to remember, okay, but not covalent radii are taken into consideration for noble gases. In transition series, and that is very important here, okay, that is d block elements, there is only small decrease in size with successive increase in atomic number, and that is due to the differentiating electrons enter into the n-1 d subcell, which partially shield the increased nuclear charge acting on the valence electron, and this is known as decontraction. And here one of the most important point, on going down a group of transition elements, there is an increase in size from first member to second member as expected, but for higher members the increase in size is quite small, and this is due to lanthanide contraction. For example, copper and silver and gold, okay, you will see that is the increase is not so much prominent here. Okay, now here we will discuss lanthanide contraction. In case of lanthanide elements, the differentiating electrons enter the n-2f orbital, and which having very poor shielding effect. So in such cases the increase in the effective nuclear charge is greater than that in the case of transition elements. Thus the decrease in the atomic size of the lanthanides is much more regular and distinct as compared to the transition elements. So the difference in the extent of the decrease in atomic size of these elements is due to their relative inability to screen the outermost electron from the attraction of the nucleus, and which is said to be lanthanide contraction. We will study ionic radii. Ionic radii refers to the radii of the ions in the ionic crystals. Ionic radius may be defined as the effective distance from the center of the nucleus of ion to the point up to which it exerts its influence on the electron cloud. So generally look at here, radius of cation and radius of anion. Okay, say one cation and anion are attached, and cation is always smaller and then anion, and why it is so we will explain in details. Let us consider here sodium ion and sodium here. So we know the sodium having electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Okay, so that is the electronic configuration of sodium, and whenever one electron is lost from the outermost cell of sodium, we are getting Na+. Okay, Na+ having electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. And if you observe, you will find that for sodium, third cell is lost. That means the sodium atom having first cell, second cell and third cell, but for sodium ion only first cell and second cell, and that's why size is decreased from 1.54 angstrom to 0.95 angstrom. The radius of the cation is always smaller than that of the neutral atom, and as we have discussed for sodium atom and ion, and that can be explained on the basis of two facts. The first one is, so if the electrons from the outermost cell is totally lost, okay, the one cell is getting decreased, and that's why the size must decrease, the number one. And the number two, so if the cation is formed, you know, in cation comparatively protons are more than the number of electrons, and that will exert more attraction towards the nucleus, and that's why the size is decreases. Okay, and just look at here a few more examples here. Ionic radius of Fe2 plus is 0.75 angstrom, but that is Fe3 plus 0.60 angstrom. That means more the positive charge, lesser would be the size, and it can also be explained and here very easily. And you know, so if number of more, that is from Fe2 2 electron is lost, then we got Fe2 plus, and if one more electron is lost, we are getting Fe3 plus. Okay, so if we compare Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus, you know, comparatively, you know, Fe3 plus having less number of electron, and that means more number of protons. That means for Fe3 plus, the nucleus exerts more attraction onto the outermost electrons, and that's why size is less. So here what has been written, let's see once. Okay, when an element form more than one type of cation, then the cation with higher charge will be smaller in size. The cations Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus derived from a specific element contain same number of protons but different number of electrons. The cation with higher charge contains fewer number of electrons, and effective nuclear charge per electron is greater, and thereby causing contraction in size. So hopefully you got that one. Now let's look at for the anions. Whenever atom changes to anion, that is say for chlorine changes to chloride ion, or oxygen changes to oxide ion, you know, the electrons are taken up in the last cell, okay, that is outermost cell. That is the number of cell does not change. That means for chlorine, the number of cell, you know, 287, third cell, 3 cells are there. For chloride ion, you know, 288, it also having 3 cells. That is the whenever atom forms anions, okay, anions, oxygen form oxide ion or chlorine form chloride ion, number of cell does not change, but you know, the number of electrons increases. Number of electrons increases in compared to proton, and you know, the electron which is taken up by the atom, and that get repelled by the existing electron, and that's why the size increases. Okay, size increases. So that is what exactly written here. Just read out that part. Okay, that means the anion always bigger in size in compared to atom, and more the negative charge, you know, the size will also be bigger. Okay, that's why here look at chlorine having 17 proton 17 electron, and the radius is 0.99 angstrom, and whenever one electron is taken up, you know, due to repulsion, and you know, the chloride ion having 17 proton 18 electron, and its size is increases. Okay, as comparatively number of electrons are more. Okay, so next, the variation of ionic radii within a group. So in a group, as we go down, say for here group 1 written, the size is increases for the cations as we move from top to bottom. Okay, so lithium to sodium, sodium to potassium, potassium to rubidium, size increases. Okay, and for anions, similarly, as we move from top to bottom, the size of the anion also increases due to the addition of a newer cells. Now the variation of ionic radii of cations of group 1a and group 17 has been compared here. That means they all having unipositive, they belong to group 1 and they belong to group 17, and if you observe, their size is getting increased. Okay, increases from top to bottom. Okay, now the next we will study variation of ionic radii along a period, along a period, you know, the same as that we did for the radius. Okay, look at here. So on moving from left to right along a period, the radii of the isoelectronic cation. Isoelectronic cation means the same number of electrons are there. Na positive, Mg2 positive, Al3 positive. Okay, it has been found, you know, more the positive charge, lesser would be the size. Okay, that means smaller would be the size. Okay, so if we compare the size of the cation for sodium, magnesium and aluminium, it has been found sodium is bigger in compared to magnesium, and magnesium is bigger in compared to aluminium. Okay, so what about the anions? More the negative charge, you know, the bigger would be the size. Okay, and as written here, on moving from left to right along a period, okay, the radii of isoelectronic anions. Isoelectronic anion means all these ions having same number of electrons. Fluorine 9 plus 1 10, oxygen 8 plus 2 10, nitrogen 7 plus 3 10. Okay, isoelectric anions, okay, decreases progressively due to increase in the magnitude of nuclear charge, that is increase in the number of proton. So when that is the nitrogen nitride ion is biggest out of these three. Okay, and this can better be understood by looking at the figure here. Sodium, magnesium, aluminium. Okay, more the positive charge, smaller would be the size. Okay, and more the negative charge, you know, that is the bigger would be the size, as here can you see for nitride ion, and it is the biggest out of these three. Okay, 3 negative.